how's it going? Caitlin here, and welcome to my kitchen. It's another week of prep. I hope you're excited. I know I'm excited. If you don't have your prep list, look in the description here and you're gonna see a couple links that you can go to. If you have premium membership, you can access it there. And if you just wanna buy it one-off, you can do that as well. There's links in there for both of them, okay? Now, this is really a love yourself later activity. I don't know if you have ever come to be like 4:30, 5 o'clock and you just don't feel like getting supper together, you end up getting takeout, or you have something that you didn't really plan on having at all. That's because you didn't have your prep done. If you have your prep done, then you don't have to count on motivation, because you know what, motivation is a very, very fickle friend. So let's just do this now. We'll hang out together for a little bit and you will love yourself later. And what are we gonna have this week? Okay, we are going to have chicken bacon ranch spaghetti squash, teriyaki wraps, paprika chicken sheetpan dinner, tater tot casserole, and honey Dijon chicken burgers. Sound good? We've got a lot of prep to do. I've got 3 levels there. So if you're feeling just a little bit motivated, you can do level 1 and you will still be way ahead of the game for the week. There's also level 2 and level 3. So if you're in it, you're in it. Let's get going, shall we? As I do many times, I am going to start with some stuff that is in level 3 because, sorry, I had to make sure my bra snaps were done. Breastfeeding, sometimes it's off and that just wouldn't be pretty in the video, regardless. Level 3 is stuff that will get done while we are prepping, so that way we're not wasting any extra time. So in level 3, I do have for cooking bacon. Which we need some for the pasta. So if you want to just cook a couple strips, you're good to do that. I'm going to cook up, you know, kind of the whole darn thing. And I'm going to cook some chicken ahead as well. So for the chicken, I'm using a pressure cooker. I love using a pressure cooker because it's literally like 0 time to get all the things done. It does all the tracking for me, so I don't have to. I just don't think you can lose. So, I'm just gonna throw 4 chicken breasts in here. I'm gonna toss in, you wanna make sure you have at least a cup of water. And turn into poultry. And just press start. Then it's gonna do its thing. My bacon, I'm going to cook that in the oven. Because honestly, that's just my favorite way to prep bacon. It works really well. I cook it on a stone bar pan, ends up really crispy. You basically can't go wrong with it. I love a bar pan because it makes me look like I'm a better cook than I am. For some reason, it just works. When something should get burnt, it just ends up going extra crispy instead, and I'm always distracted by something in the kitchen. So just those little things that make me look better than I am will always be worth it to me. So nothing fancy. I have the oven set to 400. You can set it to 425. You can set it to something lower if you wanted to. I don't think there's any hard or fast rules. Well, maybe the only hard and fast rule would be don't put it on broil. Broil's unpredictable. Seems like a good idea because it just seems like it would go really fast, and then it just goes from like fast to disastrous really, really, really quickly. So, look, I made a rule. Okay. So this bar pan will usually fit about a pack of bacon, which is convenient. Overlaps a little bit. I'm not too worried about that either. I'll just smush it over a tad. So these things are both going to do their thing while I'm doing other things. And then it's really like I'm getting time back, right? So gonna throw that in there. I'm gonna give my hands a quick wash because I don't think I touched anything, but at the same time, like, can't be too careful. I mean, we're all doing a gluten-free meal plan because our guts aren't the best anyway, right? Like, I don't wanna tempt fate more than I already do on a daily basis. All right, so I'm ready to get going on step one. If you already started on step one ahead of me, you might be well ahead of me at this point. Oops. There we go, all set up and good to go. In step one, first thing that I'm gonna do is I am going to slice a pepper. Exciting, I know. So I'll always slice, there's a million ways like to slice a pepper. There's probably as many ways to slice a pepper as there is to skin a cat. What a horrible saying. Whoever came up with the, there's more than one way to skin a cat, because like, I've said it before or thought it before or heard it before, and then when I'm listening to the words coming out of my mouth, I'm like, those are just awful, awful, awful words. Why did I say that? But it's a thing, and I find myself equally torn between just being curious as to what the origin is of that and really just not wanting to know and just pretend I've never heard it before and never will hear it again. So I'm sorry about that. Okay, so just gonna cut those into slices. Don't gotta be perfect. Actually, I'm gonna put a divider in my, little tray here. So I think I can fit a couple things in this. The trays that I have for my prep board, they're kind of fun if you're always meal prepping, because they have, like this one, see, I can put something in there to divide, so I can put two different things in there. You can also put like kind of a little strainer type of thing on the bottom of it, just in case you get juicy fruits or veggies that you're prepping and putting in there. Just so that the juice kind of gathers at the bottom instead of sitting in there on its own. Okay, I'm gonna do my second thing here. I'm gonna slice up some cucumber. But I like this prep board. It tends to keep me, it keeps my mess from migrating while I'm prepping. It's kind of like the first time that you get leggings with pockets and you're like, leggings, why do these need pockets for? And then you have leggings with pockets and you're like, why doesn't every pair of leggings come with pockets? They're necessary. Same thing for a cutting board. Apparently more things in life should just have pockets. There we go. So I need about half a cup of cucumber. I'm not worried if I have a little more. That one just was begging to be eaten. There we go. A couple things done up there. Now we're going to slice up a red onion. Grab another prep container. I do like these containers. They stack as well in my fridge, so that I'm not playing fridge Jenga. And yes, that is that's a time-honored tradition, I understand. Who doesn't love a little fridge Jenga? This red onion is massive. I will always order my groceries for pickup because it saves me time and it saves me money. Even though it's a paid service, I do pay for it. But if I go into the store, I will see so many things that I need that I don't actually need. And my grocery bill doubles, but for some reason it doesn't feel like I'm actually eating any more or eating better. It defies all logic. But you know, I'm gonna cut this in half so I don't cut my fingers off. It's just a judgment call for knowing myself. Maybe you're better at keeping your fingers, in which case you could leave yours intact. Yeah, so I order my groceries ahead And it has reduced my grocery bill drastically, and I still seem to eat better just having a plan in advance. Makes no sense, but that is what I have found. And maybe if you're a seasoned veteran to this, you've found the exact same thing. And maybe if you're trying this for the first time, be ready to be amazed, my friend. But sometimes when I'm ordering stuff, you know, I'll order a red onion, and my red onion is just cute and little. And then sometimes I order a red onion and it's the Goliath of red onions. And this one is a monster. Like, it means business. Now, how far down your red onion you choose to cut is entirely up to you. The sharper your knife, the further you'll be able to cut down the end safely. Once you start worrying that maybe you're gonna, like, you know, have your knife slip and you're gonna lose limbs, then stop cutting just before that point. We don't want any questionable moments there. I'm gonna chop up the rest of this anyway, just because I figure there's gonna be something that I'm gonna find to put this in. If I put half an onion in the fridge, it's just gonna go in the fridge to meet a slow, miserable death, and I don't want that to happen. So the more that I process the veggies when I have them, oh, there's the tears. The more that I process the veggies, the more likely I am to be like looking in the fridge and thinking, hey, I could do something with that. So it's like, well, I'm in the area. Might as well just take down the rest of this giant. Didn't know you were showing up for a David and Goliath story of onion proportions today, did you? Story time. I will quit my day job, okay? There we go. And there we are. The largest red onion of all time. There we go. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some broccoli florets, because we're going to need the florets from the broccoli this week. And plot twist, I'm also going to save the stems for these ones. Okay, so we're going to do something fun with that too. A little money saving, food saving opportunity here with our broccoli. So really, I'm not putting too much thought into the cutting off the florets. I'm not a professional floret cutter. I just kind of cut whatever looks like nice and green at the top. You choose how far you want to cut down those stems, because sometimes they're like really big and bushy, right? Like that one, I like to keep them kind of bite-sized-ish. But here we go. And you can buy broccoli that already is cut into florets at a lot of places. You can choose to do that, but really for all the time that takes, like we done. Now, I'm just gonna quickly, you know what? We'll do those after. Okay, so next up, and this one is optional, because one of the recipes does call for a bag of frozen pepper and onion, and you are welcome to use a bag and make it nice and easy. Like a lot of the time, actually, frozen vegetables are healthier than their counterparts, or just as healthy, because they're flash frozen. So if you were gonna choose between, say, canned or frozen veggies, always choose the frozen veggies, because when they're flash frozen, they maintain more of their nutrients. So especially when fresh veggies are a little more expensive when they're out of season, if you can get them frozen, that is a healthy and economical way to go. because those bags of frozen veggies, they stay the same price pretty much all year round. There's really not much fluctuation in those. For the fresh ones, you can tell when it's harvest season and when it's not, right? Both in quality and in pricing. Cool. Oodle lolly. Okay, so if you decided not to buy your frozen veggies and just to chop them up instead, we can do that now. I'm just chopping them all up together. They're all going together anyway. Oops. I'll chop those ones up. There we go. I love my food chopper. It's actually a pretty good workout using this like little beast, but it's just so much quicker. And any less amount of time I have holding a knife is probably just better for everybody involved. These are just all going into the Tater Tot Casserole. Oops. Ooh. I can't even see through my teary eyes. I can smell that bacon already. It smells delicious. If there's one thing that motivates you to cook, it's like smelling bacon cooking. I wonder if there's just like one of those scent warmer things that just smells like fresh bacon cooking and actually smells like fresh bacon cooking. Okay, so there's our onions and peppers. And I do think it's probably a little cheaper to cut those ones up, generally speaking. But that'll depend on where you're at and how you're feeling. And honestly, cost isn't everything. Okay, so that's it for level 1. If you're here for level 1, you have done it. Congratulations, my friend. You rocked it. You're so much closer to where you need to be. I'm proud of you. If you're still with me, maybe you gotta empty your garbage thing like I do. When's that? That's part of the thing that helps keep my mess from migrating right there. Okay. So, I am preparing to make broccoli slaw. You can buy broccoli slaw already prepared if you want to. If you happen to have a mandolin or something though, making broccoli slaw, you can do it just with the stumps of your broccoli. So we're gonna do that. I have a very safe mandolin called the Rapid Prep mandolin because I am clumsy and I am not very good with a regular one. Step 1, cut off the woody part at the bottom. We don't need to be eating no wood. Step 2, we're gonna peel off, I'm gonna take off some of these things here. The nice thing about this is that even if you don't use all of your broccoli slaw, you're losing nothing by using it, because if you're like me, you were just gonna throw it out anyway. Or maybe you use it to make stock or something. I'm not sure. Maybe you're good and you do that. Me, I just would have thrown it out. So why not plan on using it in one of our recipes, right? So now I'm just gonna peel off kind of that outer edge that, once again, can be a little rough. We want kind of the more tender parts of the broccoli in our broccoli slaw. So I'm not as worried about the top parts, but bottom part, and I mean the thicker and older the stem is, the tougher it's gonna be too, right? So there we go, just taking off a bit of that. And I might as well peel my carrot at the same time. So for the broccoli slaw, we'd want some carrot and we want some of the broccoli stuff. I would have preferred to have a smaller carrot. I'm not gonna use this whole thing. Figure out something else to, I'll figure out something else to put it in. You know what? I'm just gonna shred up the whole thing and then I'll find something to throw it in. Once again, I don't want it to die a slow death in my fridge. So I'm just going to incorporate this into something this week. It's probably most definitely going to end up chopped up and thrown into my Tater Tot Casserole. Because why not? That thing's just begging for extra veggies. All right, so my mandolin, it is like a julienne slicing setting and all the rest of it. So I'm gonna put it on, I think 2, it goes from 1 to 2 millimeters. So I'm just gonna put it on 2 millimeters. Open it up, put the toothy end into its mouth. Yes, this is how technical I am. And voila, she's ready to go. So, my broccoli is just cut up into little pieces there. So if you wanted to, you could take this broccoli slaw, you could take it and actually make it into a coleslaw if you wanted to. We're going to use it for teriyaki wraps this week. But if there's any left over, turn it into coleslaw. Use it as a side dish. You could use it as a side dish with your teriyaki wraps if you wanted to, or heck with anything else, whatever you're feeling. Okay, now I'm gonna do it with my carrot. I'm just dividing them up in my container because I have a little extra carrot that I'm gonna use extra. Already. Now, if you wanted to use a grater to do this, you could use a fine grater to do it up. I think that would work as well. It might work even better for the carrot, who knows? I don't have patience for that. So I have that, and I have that instead. I have that instead of patience. You don't have patience, have pretty toys. Okay, there we go. Another thing done up. All right? There's a lot of prep this week, but you know what? It's gonna be a delicious week, and all of these meals as a result are gonna be really easy to throw together. So next, I'm gonna slice up some spaghetti squash. Now, I'm actually kind of gonna do a little bit of an experiment with this. Because I'm never quite sure what the best way is to cut it up. Like this right here, crinkle cutter, this is my favorite way to cut up things that are weird and awkward shape like spaghetti squash. That's my favorite way to do it. It just feels really like natural and really easy. So that's my go-to. But what I heard is that you're supposed to cut it with a chef's knife. Now chef's knives kind of terrify me a little bit. I hear the trick is to stick it in. I do not like that at all. Oh, stick it in with a point end. Yeah, that one's smooth. I think I prefer the crinkle cutter. I was also gonna try a bread knife. See what a bread knife was like. No, that's awful. Nope, bread knife is horrible. Do not use a bread knife. Let's try this one again. I kind of feel like I'm gonna hurt myself with this one. That one kind of scares me. Okay, if you're a child, use the crinkle cutter. And it'll be forever easy, I promise. I'm not shying away from my crinkle cutter anymore. I've decided that this is the way to cut squash. However, if you would prefer to do it, use a chef knife. Do not use a bread knife. Look at the things we're solving today. Next on the agenda, world peace. There we go. I'm just gonna, gut that a tad. I don't think I brought a big enough container to contain this, to be quite honest, but we'll find out. I'm curious, do you do your prep? Do you do your prep day on the day that you're having your meals? Like, I will often prep on the day, I'll prep for the week on the day that I'm going to eat the first meal. So like, this would be the first meal that I'm eating tonight, but maybe you have a day that's before everything that you do yours. Let me know, I'm curious. Okay, I'm just going to get a spoon. Whew. Grab a spoon here just to take out the guts. Get into my garbage again. It does mean we're getting lots of vegetables in this week. I mean, that can't be a bad thing. Now, if you wanted to, you could decide to just cut your spaghetti squash in half. I know a lot of people do that. I do find cutting it in rings makes it a lot faster. Instead of taking 45 minutes to an hour for me to roast it, it might take like 25 minutes instead. And I just lay it out on a sheet pan, put some salt and pepper on it, and baste some oil on top of it, and it's good to go. So it really doesn't take a whole lot more effort to prepare this way, but it takes a lot less time to cook it. So in that way, this is a magical way to prepare it. I severely misjudged the size of the container there. Happens. I never once claimed to be professional. Okay. I gotta get some glue off me. Okay. My pressure cooker's not gonna work. I don't think. I think when my husband cleaned it, he forgot to put a piece onto it. So I'm really not sure what's going to become of that. But if you put the top on, it would have worked. Okay. Disregard. So I'm going to peel a couple sweet potatoes and cube these. For the Paprika Sheetpan dinner. Like, honestly, this prep day, it's a little longer than normal. So I don't blame you if you decide to back out after level 2. Well, I mean, if you made it this far, you're pretty much in for it, right? But the rest of the week is gonna be so easy because you're just gonna be throwing stuff together like bip bap boop, and you're gonna feel like a freaking champion. Isn't that what we all want to feel like at 5 p.m.? A champion. Wonder where the missing piece for my pressure cooker is. I'm gonna have to ask Honey about that when he gets home. That is the weirdest thing. Oh dear. Marriage. Okay. So, just gonna chop up the sweet potato. And I'm gonna put them in a bowl and just cover them in water, and that's gonna keep them fine until we eat them. I'm excited for the sheetpan dinner. I love the Paprika Sheetpan dinner. It's just some nice, honest flavors. You know, nothing too fancy, but it comes together and you're just like, well, that was worth it. Always, like, make this work for you. If you're not into sweet potato, then you might want to sub out that veg. Maybe you'd want to put rice or something on the side with it, or any other type of veggie. What I do recommend is that if you're going to substitute a veggie, try to stick to something that's of the same color. If you're changing one green veggie out for another, etc. And the reason for that is that colors are like nature's nutrition. So that's why we're so attracted to all different colors of everything, of food and everything, because it's our body just telling us, hey, if I get that, I'm getting something different that I haven't had before, and that'll vary my nutrition, and then I will be healthier. So it's all good. So we're gonna grate a couple cups of cheese. And if your house is like mine, if you grate a little more than a couple of cups, it's still gonna be okay. Because grated cheese always tastes better than non-grated cheese. Like, you can buy it already grated, but usually you're gonna find more ingredients in it. And more ingredients isn't usually indicator of a good thing. You also do pay a bit of a premium to have it grated, and it doesn't take an awful lot of time to do it yourself. So while we're here and prepping for the week, might as well grate the cheese. And if you think you're gonna go through more cheese than the 2 cups, grate more. Heck, grate the whole thing. Throw it in a bag, keep it in the fridge, use it for snacks, use it for sandwiches, make yourself some egg bites. Maybe you'll make mini pizzas throughout the week or nachos for a snack. I don't know. Might find some way to use it, and then you know what? It's already there and you're saving yourself time and energy because it's already in your hand right now. If you take an extra minute grating the rest of it, that's okay. Go to town. This is my grating measuring cup down here. So it kind of lets me know about how much, I think it's like 2.5 cups that fill that thing. So I usually just do a little more than the 2 cups. And then I just hope it lasts until the day of, but if not, it means people are snacking and eating. And that's the goal with the food, is to eat it, not leave it in the fridge. So in that way, I'm succeeding. Okay, there we go. Cheese is all done up. So we have our spaghetti sauce done, broccoli slaw, like we are getting her done. Chicken, hopefully yours cooked better than mine did in there. I'm gonna mix up the spice for the paprika chicken, which might not sound like much, but sometimes having your spice mix done up before, at least for me, can be the difference between doing it or not doing it. Oh, by the way, you just finished level 2. Congratulations, you did awesome. And level 3 is almost done. Bacon is done. One pan, crispy bacon, ready to go. So I'm just gonna mix up the Paprika Sheetpan seasoning. So I've got 2 tablespoons of paprika. Throw in 1 teaspoon coriander. Throw in salt. And allspice. And I'm just gonna leave it in this prep bowl and it'll be ready for me when I need it. There we go. Easy peasy. All right, guys, I am so excited for this week. I hope you enjoy everything. I'd love to hear what you think, so let me know. And I will see you guys next week for another week of meal prep. All right, bye-bye. And thank you so much.